All right, welcome in here to Study Ball. And when I was playing, I loved to play against the best defenses in the league. Yeah, I knew it was going to be a huge challenge. All those defenses did something a little bit different, but they had their strengths within those defenses. And I loved the cat and mouse and chess match of trying to figure out what I would do against those great defenses. Could I be the quarterback that exploited what they did or using their strengths against them? And so last week, you guys know, I took a look at the 49ers defense and what I thought Seattle could do against them. And actually what I talked about last week, I think every team can do against the 49ers. Again, I say exploit. You're not really exploiting them. They're not necessarily weak in those areas, but there's some ways that you can find some holes and spread them out. I talked a lot about the empty formation last week. Well, I went back and watched the game from last year in the playoffs where the Cowboys played against the 49ers. 49ers knocked them out just to see, okay, what is it that Dallas does and how did the 49ers play them last year to have so much success? Now, the 49ers do basically the same stuff. You know, they've got the same defense, the same structure. It's why they've been good for so long with little nuances that they throw in each and every week. But I'm going to take a look at the 49ers defense again and look at that matchup last year and say, okay, this is what I might do differently if I was the Dallas Cowboys, or this is what I need to be ready for and have answers for if I'm the Dallas Cowboys against this 49er defense. And I know you say, well, you broke them down last week. Why don't you break down someone else? Well, I told you why. Because they're the best defense in the playoffs. And it's fun every week to watch these matchups and watch them every single week. And that's what goes through my mind is I want to attack the best defenses in the league. I want to show you guys just some different things to pay attention to that might show up with what the 49ers defense does, and also how you might be able to take advantage of some of those things. So let's take a look at the tape from last year and let me show you some things that they did and how you might be able to take advantage of those things. All right, this is one thing that I like that Dallas did last year. Now, last year they had two big offensive linemen that they used here, but I could see them doing this with their tight ends. They've got three different tight ends that they like to use this year, guys that can do some different things. But I like this because you get into a heavy run set. You know they want to run the football if you've got some guys that have some versatility in the backfield. But I like this on early downs where you've got some run that you like, and then if the 49ers stack the box, okay, right, the box from tackle to tackle, and you'll see that the 49ers have 8 guys inside the tackle box. So I like this formation to go. We're going to call a run, and we're going to have an alert with it. We're going to have an opportunity to throw it outside with some simple concepts that we have if the 49ers close the middle, right? They have one safety back here in the middle, and they stack the box. So last year, Dallas got into this formation, and they came out of it with the play action, right? Play action, and then it's simply one-on-one on the outside, right? Got our one-on-one, we got our stop and our stop, right? And then you get your check downs here. So if they want to buzz out here, you've got your check down, especially if they're tight ends. You could do some different things out here, right? You could check to just like curl flats. Boom, boom. And then wherever you put your back, you can gain some sort of advantage. I'd probably put them to the wide side, but you gain some sort of advantage because, again, you see 49ers like to play a balanced cover 3. So they're going to have 2 defenders underneath on each side. So one way or another, you're going to get a chance to either stretch the outside linebacker or you're going to get to overload them with the triangle of the flat, the curl, and the back. But simple concepts that can exploit and attack that, right? I'm just thinking about different things that I might do. Again, if I have a tight end, might go here, run an in, right, run a flat, my back, go and check down there so we get a high low to the inside, and then whatever combination you like, backside to attack it if they want to pressure, whatever. But some of the simple basic concepts that you would do if you get middle closed. And so they come out to play action, come back, we get our one-on-one, boom. Now we're working on the outside with our 2 main receivers. Here they are again. One more time, off the play action. This time they ran goes with it to try to take advantage of it. But you see, you get the hard play action, right? You see a lot of space in the middle. You see the one-on-one out here, one-on-one out here. So some different options, but I liked this if they can get the similar thing, but even not. If you've got two tight ends in there and they want to go back to a cover two shell, then you have an advantage in the run game with extra blockers. So I like that little package that they ran last year, even though they didn't complete this go route here. All right, same thing that I talked about last week. Okay, spread them out. I like spreading this 49er team out. You feel like you can get some advantages if they want to play man-to-man like this with all your bodies that are out there. Just use your tight ends and what have you. Or if they want to sit back and play coverage, a lot of times they play the shell coverage, and there's a lot of space and opportunities to be had in the underneath zones. So here they go man, right? You get what you want. They get the inside fade right here, things that can get the ball out quick. Got the inside fade right there as well. So you've got some opportunities here. Here they go get a touchdown as they spread them out right there. Okay, you don't have to spread them out necessarily by going empty, but I like spreading them out because, again, you spread them out and you see they close the middle right here, but they like to pack inside. They're going to give you some opportunities. I think they ran double seams here with stops on the outside. But chance, right, to look those seams, possible seam right here, don't have it, get your one-on-one, but I like the spread formations against these guys as well. All right, so this is a play that Dallas ran a number of times in this game, and we'll see it. So as we play it right here, what they do is they run seam right here, a curl right here, and then a swing right here. So this is usually a good play against any kind of corner off defense. And then on the backside, they ran what we call 72, okay? 72. It's normally just a man beater back there. But I just want you to watch and you see they clear through. Watch Fred Warner, one of the best linebackers in the league. But as he sees this and as he sees Ezekiel Elliott go to the swing, he's going to push hard through this. Watch him run through this. Watch him run. Boom. I know the concept that you like to run. He's running all the way through to the curl right here. Okay? He's running all the way through to the curl. All right. So couple different things, okay? You want to throw this curl out here because normally you like this because we can isolate this linebacker. He drops back, kick the swing. He goes wide, then hit the curl. But the guy we worry about is that Mike linebacker that pushes through. So there's a couple different things that you can do. First thing that we could do is we can run this exactly the same way, okay? And we get the Mike linebacker to push through here. Now we change up the backside. Okay, change up the backside. They're running, as we said, 72 here, okay? I'd come back and change this to a play that I call under. So now instead of out, we're going in. Instead of out, we're going in. So now what? I come back and I look at this Mike linebacker right now. This Mike linebacker goes running through here to the other side. Now what? Now look what we've got. We've got one guy isolated on the backside with this, and we've got this whole middle of the field wide open, right? There's different ways in which you could do that. You could hook this guy and wrap this guy over the top. You could just take this guy and hook him there and then wrap this guy over the top. So now you're creating a little bit more width, forcing that backside guy to cover width. But either way, you're attacking to the backside if that Mike backer, if Fred Warner wants to run out there and take away the curl. Then you come off and he stays tucked in here because he doesn't want to give it away. Now we get the relationship that we want right there off of that outside linebacker, and the Mike linebacker can't get to it. So visualize that right there. Okay, here we go again. We're going to watch the same play. Same play again. What happens? Boom, he takes off and runs. As soon as he feels this swing right here, he takes off and runs. So what do we got? Same thing back here. Same opportunities to the backside. Again, they ran a 72 combination, right? And so, I don't know if you guys were following when I talked about this before, but so off of this under combination, what we used to do, okay, so it looks just like this, okay? Dallas is running the corner here. I'm talking about running it in here, okay? So here's what we did, okay? We would push that number 2 up to that 12-yard mark, okay? At the 12-yard mark, he was supposed to run inside, okay? We gave them the opportunity that if he was carried to that point, so if he was carried by a linebacker or if he was carried in man-to-man coverage, so that guy was carrying him at the same depth when he got to 12 yards, we gave him the ability to break out, okay? Now, what does that do? Again, you notice Dallas is running what I called 72. And the reason they're running that is because if they get man-to-man coverage, that guy's sitting inside, boom, I break outside, I've got a man-to-man beater inside. It's a great combination against man. It's not good against zone because against zone, what can happen? As he goes here, this guy falls off. As I go to the corner, this guy falls off, and I don't have anything over to this side. So that's why we added that little read for this guy. Because if we get zone and that guy's carrying him all the way up to 12 yards, it shouldn't matter. We should already be throwing the in. So even if he breaks outside, we shouldn't have a problem. But if we get man, right, and this guy wants to come down and jump the under, we don't want to force this guy to run back into inside leverage. So now we give him that opportunity to break outside. So now it is the best of both worlds for us because we've got the zone beater going to the inside. We got the man beater that has the opportunity to break to the outside, and we are golden either way. So now, once again, read the Mike backer. See, go flying away? Great. We got opportunities on the backside. And again, you can see this over and over again. There he goes. There he goes. Sees the swing. Boom. I'm going to push through this. Dak's going to come back. And he hits this thing late, right? Because here's what he's doing. He's coming back to look at this, okay? And what happens? Here's what I'm talking about. This is what happens. Whoa, he comes off, covers it. He falls back, covers it. We got nothing over there. If we're going here and we push up and we break in and we do this, now what do we have here? You see it. There it is. It's coming right there. It's going to be a huge throw because this guy pushes through. If he doesn't push through, right, if he stays and settles here, now visualize what this looks like to the front side, and now this curl is huge back to the front side, all off of that movement of the Mike linebacker. Okay, here's the other thing that you can do with that. So this is very similar type play to the front side. So they're going to come here and run this, and then they're going to run that, and Fred Warner wants to push through because he's reading what Zeke does right there. So the other thing that you can do is you can attack. You can attack the Mike linebacker with this guy. So instead of running him on a seam, which really does nothing for you, that's not really helping you out or clearing anybody out for you. You're not really throwing that as an option. So you can put this guy here, run the curl, run the swing. So now Fred Warner has to stay tucked in there. All right, so I'm going to go back to the last play, and I'm going to show you. So what if on this play, okay, instead of having, I think that's Cedric Wilson here, instead of having him go down the seam, what if he goes right here, we do this, and we do that. Now that Mike linebacker is going to be stuck with the guy on him, and we're going to get what we want to the outside, and it's going to be very similar to what we see right here. Boom, hold him right there. Here's your isolation, inside, out, off of these two guys. So you make that little adjustment to use up the Mike linebacker so he can't push through and take away the curl while the outside linebacker takes away the flat. All right, here's another thing that you see with this defense. Okay, so this defense recognizes the 3-by-1 side. Okay, 3, 1. Okay, so Lots can be determined by this backside safety here. Okay, so watch this backside safety. What's he going to do? Okay, on the snap, he's going to push over, and he's going to push to that 3 receiver side, and now it can leave you with some good opportunities here backside with that 1 defender. Okay, so you see it right there. Okay, so we get him to push and clear. Now we've got an opportunity with this in and flat off of this 1 defender over to this side. So you want to watch that push when you've got a 3-by-1. Don't have a 3-by-1, so here we go again. Okay, so watch, right? Fred Warner's dropping this way. Why? Because he's going to release that guy here. Okay, if we can get out to the flat, we run a hook or a curl to the backside, and you see it. Okay, you see what you have. Now, we stack this right here, but if this guy goes to the flat right here, we get this guy isolated if this guy wants to push over. Okay, on both of those, it was a tight end backside. So you got a good tight end over there in Schultz, so that's okay. I'm okay with that matchup if you have to do it with the tight end back there, but some things you can do to isolate on the backside with that push. Okay, now here's one without a tight end. Okay, we got the 3 receiver side. Watch him. What's he do? Okay, what's he do? Boom. So we got on this play, we've got a stop, a hook, okay, and another hook right here. So if this guy wants to stay backside, now we get a 1, 2, 3 against just 2 defenders, and we can isolate that side. If this guy wants to push over, now, once again, we get the isolation over here of a 1-on-1 with a hook. So whatever this guy does, if he buzzes hard under the comeback, we can throw the back. If he stays tucked inside, we get our 1-on-1 on the outside, as long as you like the matchups. And you see it right here, right? We got our throw right there, or we can drop it down to the back to that side if we want. Now, even on this, right, he doesn't get over far enough to take away these options over there. But if he pushes, now it gives you your opportunities on the backside. So just something to pay attention to is you always come out against teams that'll push their quarters. So they got quarters coverage, but they see a 3-by-1. They push this safety back here, which basically leaves you 2-on-2 on the backside. Okay, another thing, running through the middle of the field. Okay, running through the middle of the field. So they play a couple different things. So they play what we call Seattle cover 3, or what I call Seattle cover 3. So what is Seattle cover 3? When you have a 3-by-1 and you run somebody down the middle of the field, okay, you run somebody down the middle of the field, the backside linebacker chases it. Okay, so watch what happens here, right? See that? See this backer right here? Okay, so if we're going to run something down the middle, this guy is going to turn and chase it, and what it does is it gives us what we want backside again. So it's almost like the safety pushing over. You're clearing out this backside linebacker, which does what, right? Just like we talked about. There, that guy wants to cover it. Now we've got the isolation once again on this guy right here. So a lot of the stuff that you're doing to the front side, you can run what we call an influence post. Okay, so an influence post, we just go here and we influence that safety, but we run through the middle of the field, crossing over to the backside, because we're going to use that guy up. If that guy wants to stay down, right, now we get our throw up over here. He wants to chase. Now we can work on 2-on-1 on the backside. Okay, and even if we do it and they run back to a 2-high shell, right? So it looks like it's going to be the cover 3. They run back to a 2-high shell. Same thing. If I take this guy and run him down the middle of a 2-high shell, now this guy has to cover it, right? Or we can isolate that guy. So either way, whether you get the middle closed and the backside backer that's taking him, or you get a middle open and it's the Mike linebacker taking him, it opens up some opportunities for you by running that influence with your number 3 and attacking him. So even if we were running that curl concept, okay, instead of running this guy down the seam here, if we just used him, again, I'll go back and show that just because it's hard to show on the 3x1, or I'll show it if we get a 2x2. But you'll see it. So we're going to run down the middle, same thing. Either way, we're going to run down the middle. And now we're going to run double unders with it. So now we get the Mike linebacker cleared out. And now we isolate this guy, okay? He squeezes the inside one. Dak should be outside right now, taking that outside under. Here, you see it from the get-go. Mike runs. Now I'm inside to out. And I got an opportunity right there. Okay, so let's do it here. Okay, so I'll just draw it up here. So let's say we had that where he was going here. He was running the curl. So instead of running this guy on the wide seam right here, run that guy on the influence that we were talking about. So seam him inside and then take the middle. Once I seam him inside, I force this guy to have to at least adjust to me. So he can't push through hard to the curl any longer because I'm attacking to the inside. So it gives me purposes on a lot of different things that I do by seaming that guy, taking him to the inside. He already saw me run at him one time if I'm the Mike linebacker and hook, so I had to cover him. So it looks very similar right here on all those different things, and it gives us an advantage as we clear that guy out. Okay? So another thing you got to pay attention to, against the Cowboys last year, they brought a lot of slot pressure from the field. Bringing this guy here and forcing Dallas to have an answer for it. Nice job here picking it up by the offensive line. Okay, and you see as they do that, a lot of times we see pressure. We want to attack pressure and hit those voids because there's a nice little void for a quick throw right here in this area. If you've got it, they have a quick throw on the backside, so absolutely nothing wrong with this. Dak comes out and hits, could have hit either one of those, but hits a slant on the backside. But you see where the opportunity is right here if Dak's ready to get that out of his hands. But you got to be ready for the slot blitz if you're playing them. Okay, so empty, right? All you guys see these guys start their back out wide. They bring him back into the backfield. The reason they're doing that to see if somebody chases him. The linebacker goes out wide, chases him back in to let us know if we've got man or zone. Okay, here it looks like we got man-to-man up there pressed. But again, what are they going to do? Boom, coming off the slot. Bringing both these guys off the slot and then jumping these guys out of here. Got to have an answer for this. They're hot here with that pressure. Dallas doesn't have an answer here, right? Vertical, vertical, vertical. Don't have a quick answer. This guy's coming free, is going to sack me. Now Zeke does a great job of crossing over. He ends up taking both of these guys out, and we end up throwing this one-on-one backside. But going into this game, if I'm the Cowboys, I got a strong side answer for pressure, a quick answer or an adjustment or a hot over there because they brought that pressure numerous times against us last year. Here we go again. Boom. Now we're going to bring both the Mike and the Sam. Okay? See the voided area once again. Got to be ready for it. Get over there. Get over there. Okay? There's the opportunity again. It's a little deep. Dak beats it because they drop a defensive end, outside linebacker off, and so he's able to get over here. But going to have guys coming free. Be ready for that pressure. Be ready to answer it there. One more right here. See it again. Overload here. Drop it down. There he is. Trying to run out. Nice little hook route right there. There's your hot throw. He's coming free. There's your hot throw. Got to beat it. See, missed it right there, but you got a hot throw in front of it. It's a good answer right there. I think that's Noah Brown right there. Good answer. If you see it, get the ball out of your hands. We don't have a negative or a bad play just like that. All right, then the last thing, Dallas got caught in a lot of third and longs last year. Never want to get caught in third and long against the 49ers because they have a good pass rush. But one thing that they do as well as anybody is the twist game. And they love the three-man twist game. So they're going to take one of these inside guys, and they're going to run him through the outside number of the guard. They're going to bring the other guy around and run him through the outside number of that center. And they're going to try to use up those two guys to the inside. Joey Bosa is going to stick up to try to hold that tackle, and then he's going to wrap around It's a really, really tough pressure. See it right here. We're going to use up the interior guys. Here comes Bosa, free runner at Dak. I'm going to run it to the end zone copy and just kind of show you this is something that they love to do. They'll do it. They'll walk Fred Warner up here, and they'll run that with the linebacker. Here, they're going to do it again, right? They're going to run through that guard. I'm going to force that guard to take me. I'm going to come here, and I'm going to force this center to have to take me because they really have to pass this stuff off. But if I run through that player, right, I don't want to just loop out here because then the tackle can pick me up and the guard can come off of me and be ready for the twist and vice versa. So you run through the gaps, you run through the outside numbers of those players so you can't really pass it off. And then we loop back here. You'll watch it right here. Watch. We're going to go and engage. Okay? Engage through that player, engage through that player, and that's what opens it up right here. I don't know if I said Joey. Nick Bosa to come through. Boom. Right there. Nick Bosa coming through, and he's got the big play. They'll do this a lot, especially when they get you in long yardage situations where they know you're going to drop back and throw the football. All right, so that's a look at, some of the things that San Francisco does. So smart. They're so good. They understand what you do. Fred Warner especially understands what you do, how you try to attack different teams. So he's got great keys and great movement, covers great ground. So I've always said when you have guys that have great instincts and great understanding, that you have to use their strengths against them. So you have to understand what they do really, really well, and then you have to design plays that take them, that let them use their great skills, and then you counter it with something to take advantage of that. All the great players that I played against always had to try to do that. Understand, okay, what do they do really, really well? What do their instincts, where do they, and I don't even want to say cheat, but where do they, take advantage of what you do offensively? So their instincts try to play to their favor, and I expect them to run through. I expect them to turn and cover. Okay, great. If I expect them to do that, what's my counter to take advantage of them doing what I expect them to do? Use their instincts. I want to use their instincts against them. And so those are some of the things that I would do if I'm the Dallas Cowboys and playing against the 49ers, knowing what they like to do. They like to run that middle close Seattle cover 3. When they run their zones, they like to run shell coverage, cover 4, which exploits them underneath because there's only 3 defenders underneath. So now we have to attack them underneath, but we can't let guys like Fred Warner take advantage of knowing what we do, and so we don't exploit them underneath. So we've got to attack him by running those seam or influence posts right at him, or running the hooks right at him and using him up, so then we can attack to the outside. So anyways, that's some of the things that I would do, and I would go in with a plan for if they play a similar to the way they did last year, because they had so much success and it's still the base of their defense. Those are some of the things that I would do and things that I would have ready to be able to attack this great San Francisco defense.